Welcome to CSLDallas, located in the heart of Texas and heard around the world. Together, we are building a spiritual community where we can be our most authentic self. And we invite you to go deeper into spirituality and apply universal principles as we are transforming the world one life at a time. And today is a special day because you'll have the opportunity to ask Dr. Petra anything. Dun, dun, dun. So,
before you carry on, we don't have a monitor down here. So I don't know if there's anything that can be done about that.
all right, well, we'll get to that with our AV team.
Besides, can I just say, would you stand up? Where's Tracy? Where did Tracy go? Oh, well, she was going to do it discreetly. So I just want you to see how mighty fine we look up here this morning. Look at that, right? Okay,
And that
right?
starts our first question for today is, what's up with the monitor?
Yay,
So,
thank you.
let's get started by grounding ourselves with our fun, fantastic CSLDallas music team.
Welcoming committee, because all are welcome here. Well, my name is Deirdre. Welcome. And I'm just going to go for it because I'm known to talk, and I want to show y'all that I'm capable of not. So let's do our purpose statement together. Ready? Here we go. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And so it is, and so it is. So we are in the season of Thanksgiving, and thank you, Lord, for that, and thank you for this. And so we can share our gratitude 2025 and celebrate the joy of Thanksgiving with Reverend Marquita and spiritual coach Avis Ives. I am reading. I'm just so excited. You know how it goes up here. Okay. Coach Avis Ives. Avis, are you out here anywhere? Okay. She's everywhere, by the way, but thank you for that, too. And it will also have special music. Now is a sacred time for our community to come together, to witness, support, and lift each other in love, followed by food, a feast. I took this course one time, and they talked about the banquet of life. And you know how I am. Sometimes thoughts come, and the Lord says, just go. So in this seminar, they talked about that we all have a table in which to feast. And a lot of times we go to the table, and what we see are the Weevily peanuts. That was huge for me because I love peanut butter, I love peanut candy, and I had some Weevily peanuts. So what happened was a new perspective on coming to the banquet table of life. And now every time I feel hungry and starving, I have this vision of Weevily peanuts and this opulent table. So come to the opulence of our Thanksgiving. That wasn't written here, just Spirit spoke. And I would like you to come on Thursday, Thanksgiving. You can, we're going to bring the turkey and the ham, and you can bring drinks and a side dish if you like, and it's a place together. Bring your family or come by yourself. It's to be in celebration with this family. The celebration starts at 11 a.m., and the potluck feast begins at noon. So, welcome all. Also, we know that the holidays don't always feel cheerful to everyone, and that's okay, because we still got our Weevily peanuts and members of our family that, well, who knows? We chose them, I think, in some way, right? Okay, we are having our annual Blue Holiday ritual led by Reverend Marquita. This gentle, heart-centered ritual wraps the sanctuary and our community in love, compassion, and acceptance. So we invite you to come share your tears or help hold the space of comfort for someone else, because also those that we do love are no longer here in this physical space, right? But they're always with us, and it's lovely to come and remember that and have the kind of holiday where they are present. This is happening the Sunday after Thanksgiving, November 30th, and it starts at 10:30, so please join us and honor the sacred space. All right, now I'm going to ask Reverend Marquita to come up here, and she has a special announcement.
Okay, so before Marquita's going to do that special announcement, I'm going to get us started with our Ask Anything. So you should have received a little card and a pen when you came in the door. If you did not, please raise your hand and you'll get an index card. Oh, we've got lots of folks that need index cards and pens. Before so you have a little bit of time to write a question, something that you, or a topic that you would like to have discussed. So you need to do that within the next, let's say, 6 or 7 minutes. So we want to have you think about what you would like me to address. For those of you online, please put them in the chat. And so we'll be doing 2 questions from the room, and then we'll be doing a question online, which will be read out loud. And then again, we'll do 2 more questions and 1 more online. Reverend Marquita will be receiving the questions right before the special music. We'll be asking the greeters to collect the information. So be thinking right now, a topic or a question that you have, and then we'll let you know. You'll pass it down to the ends of the aisles, and the greeters will come and pick them up and bring them over here to Reverend Marquita. Is there anything else I need to say about that? I don't think so. All right. So, yes, you're gonna say Angel. Mm-hmm.
Reverend Marquita is now to follow.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those online. So I do have a special announcement. I'm going to ask that Angel Carter, would you please come up? So this beautiful. And I had told her you don't get to hide, right? So Angel Carter is our new hire. Yes, and so she she will be, she's working with production, the facilities, our vendors and rentals, all of that kind of thing. And she comes with a lot of experience in other different places. She is from pretty much kind of all over, but pretty much from Little Rock, Arkansas. I guess Arkansas is in the house, okay? So here's what she wants you to know. First and foremost, when I asked her, I said, you know, like, really, what are you about? And she said, I love people. So she is here to love you. She's very clear about it. She's really excited to join our community and be in service to our community. And she's really looking forward to building relationships with all of you. So when you see her, please say hello, say, hey, I'm so-and-so, and maybe you're not, maybe she will or will not remember your name, kind of like me, but she'll remember your face, and she loves being here. She's excited. Am I saying it right? She's excited. So just know and keep your consciousness high for her as she continues to learn all about CSL Dallas so that she can be in high service to you. That is her goal. Please welcome Angel Carter.
Angel Carter, how we love you, how you sparkle when you walk right by. Okay. Okay, now. Now we're going to settle, even me. We're going to settle into this morning with our amazing music team, which is Aaron, which is E-R-I-N, Aaron, and Denise, and Aaron up here, A-A-R-O-N, Aaron. And, oh my God, I just almost called her Denise, but I know that's not her name because I'm all nervous. And how long have I known her? Okay. Yes, thank you. I know this is Glenda and her beloved Darlene, who I identify with greatly. And Jamie, Patrick, and Candy. But wait, Jamie's over there. Let's settle. And with our amazing music team, Brad, Jonathan, and Matt. And then we're going to settle even more with Tracy Brown. She's like a reverend to me, too. Dr. Tracy Brown.
Be the peace that you want to see. Be joy and be harmony. Whole life for those
light for those who do not see, who cannot see, who will not see. Have faith for those who don't believe. This is what it means to be love. To be the love in expression. And as we come together in celebration of this love this morning, it is the perfect opportunity for us to ground within ourselves, knowing that we are here to be love. Please join me in prayer. Let now be the time to remember that this coming together is not by accident. That this coming together, virtually and physically, in the presence of love, to be the presence of love, to expand the presence of love, this is our purpose today. To remember and to know that there is a presence of infinite intelligence that is always expressing and expanding and evolving life. And this infinite intelligence is showing up in each and every person. In fact, in each and every creation it has created. So I claim and declare and invite you to join me in knowing without any doubt at all that this morning, this time, morning, day, or evening, this time is the perfect time to ask Dr. Petra anything. Because in asking Dr. Petra, each question is being asked of the beloved, of the divine, of the infinite intelligence, and that it is being answered, each question, each concern, each ask, each request to learn more is being asked of the divine and being answered in, as, and through Dr. Petra. Or in, as, and through the person sitting next to you, or in, as, and through the practitioner and spiritual coach you lean into, in, as, and through your inquiries into your own heart and knowing. For there are no unsolved mysteries in the universe, and all of it leads us to this place of coming here to be love. So I invite you to commit with me to be that love, to have that faith, and to exemplify it every opportunity, today and every day. This is our why. Let it be, and so it is.
Be the peace that you want to see. Be joy and be harmony. Hold light for those who do not see. Have faith
welcoming all and loving all. This week is designated as Transgender Week, Transgender Awareness Week. And so we just want to take a moment to recognize and to honor the space that we're in Transgender Awareness Week. So with that, I have the candle, and I'm going to light the candle, but then I'm going to say a couple words, and then I'd like for us to move into a semi-meditation, I'll call it. So today, we want to just pause and honor our transgender family. Those who are here among us, and those who are in the room, those who are online, as well as those who struggle, those who we have lost due to violence, because the label of transgender is something that may be offensive to some people because they don't understand that we are all one. It has always been that way. It will always be that way. We are one. And in this space, CSLDallas, we are very, very clear that we are radically inclusive. Yes? Yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So on the day of, it's called the Transgender Day of Remembrance, we'll do this here, but then on November 20th, I'm asking that this community, in your own homes, in your own way, simply take a moment again to pause and embrace and just love those who consider, or who I call them labels, which I don't really care for labels, but I think we know what we're talking about here, our transgender kinship, right? Kin. So, affirming that each and every person is a creation of the divine themselves. There's no difference here in who we really, really are in spiritual truth. So with that, I asked someone to write a poem for our transgender community. Her name is Shelby Wilson. She's one of my daughters of choice. So to our transgender family, we say to you, we see the real you, not as a label, but your true identity, the person you were meant to be, whole and complete. Knowing you are protected and respected in all aspects of your life. May society accept the person we see, love you unconditionally. We stand with you hand in hand, validating your existence, co-creating a sacred space of inclusion, envisioning a world where everyone is honored and allowed to stand in their truth. You are welcomed here. With that, if you'll take a breath with me, and everybody please go within. So as a blessing, may our transgender siblings be respected and protected. May they be seen, respected, uplifted, and embraced for the love that they truly, truly are. May we be the instruments of peace, of courage, and sacred inclusion. And may we co-create a world where every person is free to live in their truth. We, CSLDallas, we welcome you, we love you, and we stand with you. And so it is.
Oh, so important. So important. And it keeps being more and more important to remember what radically inclusive actually means, and that we live it to the best of our ability. So we are going to invite you to finish writing up your questions. And if you can pass your questions to the aisles, pass them out to the edge of the aisles. Greeters, if you would come forward. And we're going to start collecting them. If you have not had a chance to finish up writing your question or your topic that you want to have addressed, you do have a few more minutes. Same thing with those of you online. We'd like to have you pass them in. Reverend Marquita will receive them. She'll sort through them. And she will bring those questions forward, and Ryan will be doing the same for those of you online. And so, with that, I believe that we have a fabulous piece of music.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Show me a sad smile. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up because you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors shining through. I'll see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. This world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up because you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors shining through. I'll see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, true colors are shining through. I'll see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, beautiful like a rainbow.
Yay! Woo! Thank you, Aaron, Candy, and Glenna. Thank you so much. So beautiful. Thank you, Brad. as always. So, so lovely. Phew. Yes, and what better place than here at CSL Dallas, our spiritual laboratory, to practice being our true colors, right? And to, for us to be in that place of radically accepting, and not just accepting, but embracing the true colors of someone when we go, that's interesting. And not fall into judgment, right? That's the trick. All right, so thank you so much. I see that we have things to talk about here. Reverend Marquita is going to sort through them. She's going to pick something out that we will get started with, and then she can continue to sort all those fabulous questions or topics, or let's go for it. Let's do it.
So this is actually a two-parter.
Okay.
One kind of folds into the other. So the first one says, what do you do daily to stay healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually? And how are you impacted by our politics? Because we have more cards around the politics of what's happening today to stay, this science of mind, politics, talk about that.
So, I'm not, thank you. It's so interesting. We just had this conversation in our Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class. See, the answer is always, it's consciousness. It's always the answer. It's always about consciousness. So this is one of the issues that we have with our resolutions that we do on New Year's. We decide, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to meditate more. And as if making that resolution is going to change how we've been for the last 2 years. And we do it maybe for a few days, maybe even for a month, and then we're right back to the old ways. We don't have time. We don't have, of course, I wouldn't be talking about myself, would I? The work in consciousness is to become the person inside who does that, as opposed to making yourself do it. Do you see? So I become a person, I have become over the years a person for whom spiritual practice is just a part of my life. I have not always become a person for whom walking and physicality has been a part of my life because I've been busy working. So I'm a person who works a lot. If I want to do more walking, which I have really focused on this year, right? I have to release my idea that I'm a person who works a lot, because I've certainly affirmed that over the last 40 years. And I have to become a person who has the time or takes the time to walk. Do you see? It has to start here. And if I keep saying, well, I never have enough time to walk, guess what? It's really that simple. It is the adjustment here, which then begins, and then I'm like, well, why didn't you walk this morning? I guess I better walk this afternoon. Do you see? Because now I've become a person who does that thing, whether it's health or physicality or the ways in which we eat. Truthfully, I will tell you, it took me 5 years to get off sugar. But every time that I got back on sugar, I worked on being a person who doesn't eat sugar. And then I would release it, and I would release it for longer periods of time. And then, then really what would happen is the holidays would roll around. Cookies, Sugar Monster back activated again. And then I would be like, wait, but I'm a person who doesn't eat sugar. And each time, the letting go is easier and easier. So now I smell sugar, and it's too much for me. And if I have half a cookie, that is plenty. Okay, I used to be able to eat the whole box. But it wasn't overnight. And I didn't say to myself, oh, you're never going to do this. It's too hard. No, I just kept becoming a person who didn't eat sugar. Do you see what I'm saying? It took me 5 years. I didn't beat myself up. I just started again and started again and started again. But it starts in consciousness. So the same thing is true with what's going on in the world. 8 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I found myself overwhelmingly terrified of what was happening with our climate. I've been an environmentalist since the 70s. Actually, that was the original work I wanted to get into. And I've watched the progress and then the lack thereof. And I actually became so frightened that I noticed I wasn't sleeping. And I thought, wait, that's not going to work. Every time you're afraid, you are adding to the lack of progress on climate change. Because what you focus on grows. So I began searching for people who were writing about what was actually happening in service to reaching our goals of not frying our planet and decimating humanity and all beings on the planet. I began searching. I began finding newsletters that were talking about it. I began looking for those places where real climate solutions were being offered. And every night when I laid in bed and I was afraid, I did a spiritual mind treatment. Because you know what? I am the divine speaking the word. My treatment is enough. I don't need for anybody to agree with it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm speaking the truth into being. Humanity is awakening to taking care of the planet. Humanity is awakening to all the solutions that are already available. Humanity is awakening to the care of our mother. Humanity is awakening, and therefore the change must come that we are preserving our climate, protecting our climate. This truth is permeating all of our leaders, our governments, everywhere in the world. Every night, every single time, I was afraid. In the last 2 years, the shift globally is phenomenal. Of course, our media doesn't report it, but it is stunning what's happening. We've already come under the worst predictions. We're already lowering in every category. All kinds of endangered species are coming back. All kinds of places are being restored. It is phenomenal, the work that's being done. The politics are the same. Take it in over and over and over again. Negativity, 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 negativity. Get afraid, get afraid, get afraid. What are we doing? We're contributing to it. Become informed. Look for the places and the people who are doing it the way that you would like to see it done, and do the work in consciousness. Humanity is awakening. Humanity is awakening. Humanity is awakening. Why? Because we are all part of the one. The infinite intelligence is moving through our leaders, through our governments, all over the world. Poverty is globally at its lowest level. Women's education globally is at its highest level. There are so many things that are happening, and see it, and then see it emerging in the places in our own politics where you would like to see it. Look for it, look for the good, and praise it. And do your spiritual work. Expect it to resolve itself into the highest good. Do you see? It's all about consciousness. Then when you speak your word, you're speaking from that place. And when you decide to give money or to get engaged or to act, which I hope you will also do, right? Treat and move your feet. You will do it with confidence, not with fear. You will do it for what you want, not against what you don't want. Not being against doesn't mean you sit home and only do treatment. It also means you work for what you want. And the ground, right, when every time I'm afraid, every time something happens that I'm afraid, I was saying this morning in class, I take whatever time it needs, sometimes it's a day or a week or a month, to find where am I going to stand? What's my spiritual truth that I'm going to stand on where I can hold this, whatever might seem heinous to me or downright evil or frightening or whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get into any ain't it awful conversations. I'm not going to denigrate anybody. I don't want to rent space in my brain to them. I have no interest. But I'm going to do whatever work I need to find, okay, where's my come from place? However long that takes. Now we can speak and act and move in the world from that come from place, right? This is what it means to be a bringer of light. This is what it means to be somebody who lifts consciousness. And yeah, is it work? Of course. That's the discipline. But that's also the laboratory that we're all in. How do we be spirit humans? How do we bring our spiritual truth into the world? It's a great question, and we're all working it, right? We're all working it.
Well, thank you for that answer that covered a few other questions that were in the
Good.
past.
Okay, great.
I love that. So I'm going to do another double.
Okay.
This is really around spiritual mind treatment. Okay.
Okay.
So one is, please explain hoping versus knowing in spiritual mind treatment. And the other one that I know lots of people ask to some degree, what is your recommendation for those of us who find it difficult to find the spiritual words to speak a spiritual mind treatment?
Okay, well, the second one is easier than the first. Well, it's not completely true, but the second one is practice.
True that.
Anything is hard when you first try it. Anything, right? So just pretend you're trying it, you're learning an instrument. You go and you learn about music, and then you have to remember that every good boy does fine, right, on the staff and all that stuff. And then you're like, I don't remember, is it a half note or a whole note? You practice. Then you get your instrument, whether it's a flute or a piano, and you practice. And it feels weird and it's awkward. I don't know how to do this. And then pretty soon you're playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and you're so excited. It's a great reason to go to our spiritual coaches and practitioners, ask for a spiritual mind treatment, listen to what they say. Now, you don't have to say it the way that they say it. You're going to find it your own way, but there might be a phrase that goes, oh, I can grab that I can hold on to. And then you can start building it into your own spiritual mind treatment. Ernest Holmes, in his book, This Thing Called You, and also this book called, oh man, it used to be called This Thing Called Life, but now I think it's called something different. Does anybody remember? The Art of Life. The Art of Life. And he has lots of little mini, like sort of affirmations. They're not quite treatments, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful to get some language, because he's going to force you, if you use some of that language, he's going to force you to stand in your spiritual truth, not in your humanness. One of the reasons why we have trouble finding the language for it is because we're thinking psychologically and we're thinking as human beings. We're not thinking as the divine presence making itself manifest as us. And remember, you don't have to be flowery. You just have to say enough words that either help you shift your consciousness or describe the consciousness and the experience that you are working to accept. That's all you're doing. There's nothing magic about the words. Nothing. What's valuable about the words is to remember that the words do nothing more than reflect the consciousness that we currently have. So listen to when you put a how in your spiritual mind treatment, or a condition in your spiritual mind treatment, or all of a sudden you realize the words you can feel, oh, I'm standing in my little humanness thinking I can't do it, or thinking something's going to do it for me. And it's not bad or wrong, but it's a revelation. Do you see? It's a revelation of what's actually going on back here. And what you're doing is rewriting this. So the more that you can bring that forward, the more you know where you're going to rewrite what is the fundamental belief. So worry less about the words, do more practice. Okay, that was the second one. The second one's hope. Okay, so Ernest Holmes says this great thing. Hope is good, it is better than despair, but it is not knowing. It's not embodying the truth. So hope has zero place in a spiritual mind treatment. In a spiritual mind treatment, we are doing affirmative declarations of what we are choosing as the truth, whether we believe it or not. It is the choosing of the truth over and over and over again that begins to rewrite the old beliefs. And as we demonstrate, we reinforce, and now our belief will grow. So we're speaking about what we know, and what we accept, and what we declare, and what we expect. And we use the words to help us shape that internal space in consciousness where we begin to entertain the idea that what we're saying is in fact true. As we do that work, now we should be able to, this is one of the ways that our spiritual mind treatment demonstrates itself, is not just that we feel better having done the treatment, but now we can walk through the world with hope. Thomas Troward calls that cheerful expectancy. Hope is simply the expectation that the positive outcome is happening. So our teaching is fundamentally hopeful. We should become more hopeful. Actually, we should move beyond hopeful to expectation of good. But hope is better than despair. So we do our treatment to move into that place. But we do not hope or wish or want or maybe or any of those things inside our spiritual work, right, which is our spiritual mind treatment. Then we go live it in the world with hope and cheerful expectation. Great questions. There's a fabulous class, The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. I know Ava's just finished teaching it. It'll come around again next year. Take the class. It's brilliant because I wrote it.
So, Ryan, do we have someone online?
A question from online.
Yes, I do. Let's just scroll through here really quickly. Okay, so this one asks, how do you cope when a loved one has been diagnosed with a terminal illness?
First, I would release the word terminal. That is an expectation, which may or may not be accurate. Second, I would ask the person who has had that diagnosis and myself, what is the outcome we want? What is the outcome that person wants? What is the outcome I want? And then I would ask myself, where am I doing my spiritual work? I and my partner might not have the same outcome in mind. If sometimes we choose terminal illnesses because we're ready to go. I don't know if that person is ready to go or not. That's their choice. How do I cope? I have not faced this. Well, that's not true. So I just lied through my teeth. I faced with both my parents. But more importantly, I faced this with my son. And what I know to be true beyond the shadow of a doubt is that each one of us is walking our own road. Each one of us is spirit made manifest as individualized expressions. Each one of us were before we were born, and we will be after we die. And not one of us can get outside of the divine presence. There is nowhere to go. It's the infinite oneness. We cannot get out of the divine presence. So, coping is an interesting word. Do I want to just cope with it? Not really. I want to bring my spirituality to bear on it, which is why I want to know, what does that person want? What do I want? Do they want to use the doctor's protocol, or do they want, or not? Do they want to have an outcome of healing, or are they tired? Maybe this is the third time they've been in this situation and they're done. They're done. They just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to just cope. I want to trust. Because the truth is that person's life isn't ending. Will I be sad if they are no longer in my life? Of course. Absolutely. Having our human feelings does not change the spiritual truth. So this is what it means to be spirit human. To find that spiritual place to stand from which we can engage in the human experience. So maybe not cope, maybe companion. How do I companion my partner through this? How do we companion each other through this? How do we find our spiritual truth and have our human feelings at the same time with each other? Because we are actually spirit human, right? We're all of that, always happening all at the same time. And remember that death isn't a failure. It's not. Death is not a failure. Death may be the way that someone decides it is time to go. I have done spiritual treatment for someone who was in that situation, had that diagnosis, and they went into complete remission. I have done spiritual mind treatment for someone who had that diagnosis, and they passed away. No one can get outside of God. There's nowhere to go. You cannot get outside of the divine. Neither I, as the partner, nor the partner that is my beloved. Do you see? And again, we find our place to stand so that we can walk through the waves of the emotions. We can make informed decisions. And ultimately, it is always about consciousness. What is the consciousness I choose to bring to the table? Am I going to pretend I'm not afraid? Am I going to bring the consciousness of I'm here with you no matter what? Am I going to bring the consciousness of I know spirit is right here and I know the law is working for our good? What consciousness am I bringing to the table? That's always the question. And this is when we lean into others, because that consciousness will come and go. Because we're not automatons. We're not robots. And so that's when we lean into others. Call a spiritual coach, practitioner, call your prayer partner, lean into your Sangha. Give yourself permission to say, right now, I'm not sure that I can hold that consciousness, so I'm going to ask you to hold it for me. Right? And we lean into that till we can re-ground ourselves and find the place to stand. Our spiritual work does not keep these kinds of things from happening. Our spiritual work gives us, what shall we say? Our spiritual work gives us the grace, the tools, and the grounding to move through whatever is happening. Thanks for the question. It's really important.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to say this one. Please explain the evil that seems prevalent in our world today. Why is it growing in consciousness?
Well, let's see. One, that would assume that it's growing. I don't assume that that's the case. There's too much evidence that that's not true. So I would question what we're feeding ourselves with. To see only that. Two, if you believe that it's growing, where is the spiritual truth? Things that are growing can be shut down, pruned, cut off by lack of attention. The evil in the world is humanity's ignorance about who we truly are and what is actually possible for humanity. That's all it is. And it's fear. It's ignorance and fear. And it's the outcome of a millennium of this physical organ being utterly focused on survival. But consciousness is awakening. Consciousness has grown an organ in which consciousness can awaken and go, wait, survival isn't just about getting what I need over everybody else. I'm a spiritual being. This isn't about survival. This is about creation. This is about co-creation. This organ and the laws and principles of the universe are here to be used for creation. What am I creating? What am I contributing to the creation of? What am I creating with my thoughts, with my feelings and emotions, my reactions and my decisions and my choices? What am I creating? And recognizing that we are, as humanity, waking up to these extraordinary opportunities of the co-creation with the infinite, to move out of humanity's ignorance and survival mode. I mean, it's astonishing the number of indigenous peoples globally who have had lands restored to them, who are being given custodianship of huge tracts of land so that they are taken care of in the traditional ways which honor Mother Earth and shift everything. It's extraordinary because humanity is waking up and recognizing that we can't keep going the way we've been going, because each revolution that we've been through, whether it's been the religious revolutions in the West, all the way back into the revolution of monotheism, whether it's the revolution of agriculture, scientific, industrial, now the data revolution, all of these revolutions are the awakening of humanity, the awakening of humanity's physical ability to create, the awakening of humanity's intellectual and ability to create. And now we're having this massive spiritual revolution that is awakening humanity's ability to see, no, we're it. We are it. We now have the ability to create life and destroy it. That is the definition of God. Not that we're God. Of course, there's an infinite. But we are that in our own lives. And as humanity, we are that. And we are getting to look in the mirror. So all the evil that we see is all the, see, this is what I think is the great news. I love this. This is the great news. The great news is you look at it and you say, that is not okay. 500 years ago, nobody was doing that. 1,000 years ago, nobody cared that people were slaughtered. They were serfs. They were peasants. They didn't count. Nobody cared that only the very, very wealthy in every continent had what they needed. Everybody. I mean, we have to get a historical perspective and see the extraordinary progress that humanity has made. It is unbelievable. The amount of illnesses that in the last 20 years have been eradicated through vaccines in Africa is stunning. Stunning. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, nobody cared. But the fact that you say that's evil and it's not okay, that is the actual proof that things that used to be okay aren't anymore. That's all I had to say about that. So let me just say, it's okay that it's not okay with you. It shouldn't be okay with you. And I personally, I'm going to just speak science, mind heresy. I personally do not have a problem with the word evil. I know that there's no force for evil. But there are things that I would consider evil, heinous, absolutely unacceptable acts. But do you see the fact that we notice them and we speak up about them? That's the progress. Okay, that's all. That's it.
Man, you were on fire. I love that.
Okay, do we have time for one more?
One more. Oh, do we have one online? Maybe we should take one online.
Do we have one more online, Ryan?
Yes, we do. It asks, when is the guy who does the Sunday morning intro releasing an audio book reading The Science of Mind? Sorry, that was the wrong question. I'll answer that one personally.
With that silky smooth voice.
You know. Okay, this question asks I am new to all of this and used to go to a traditional church. Is the book by Ernest Holmes our Bible?
Oh, that's a great question. No, the answer to that is no. Nor is Ernest Holmes our guru, right? So you always have to tease apart the assumptions that are behind a question, which is something that you should start doing for yourself. Tease apart the assumptions behind your own questions. So the question, is it our Bible, assumes that the Bible is something. It assumes that the Bible is a standard. It assumes that every spiritual tradition must have something that lays down the word, right? That's what we mean by, is it the Bible? We even use that word in the vernacular when you work in a way where there's a lot of protocols and things like that. Like, let's say in the medical field, I know my son's come home and he said to me one time, this is the Bible for we have a updated Bible for our ambulances, right? Because it's laying down the protocols, right? So there's an assumption there, right? That there is such a thing, or that we would want such a thing. So the challenge with Science of Mind is that it doesn't have a lot of protocols. It doesn't have thou shalt nots. Science of Mind seeks to teach you how to think about what you are thinking about. And it teaches you to observe how you are thinking about what you're thinking about. Right? Ernest Holmes is he's a great synthesizer of all the ways in which this way of thinking about life has been promulgated over humanity's history, especially in the West, right? Within the Western tradition. So from the Hermetic teachings through the mystery schools in Egypt, through the Platonic line of Western civ philosophy, through the teachings of Jesus, through the philosophical lines of Spinoza and Swedenborg, through the work of mental science of Anton Mesmer and the other name escapes me, through the work of Freud and Jung and psychology, through the transcendentalists and mental science, right? We have all of these streams, and they are all the alternative stream in all of those because they are most closely aligned with the mystical stream of every spiritual tradition, all the way back rooted into the indigenous traditions. So what Ernest Holmes has done, has tried to help us do, is to get underneath the cultural, religious, and language trappings to the internal state of consciousness that is being described and that is worth working towards and experiencing without the boxes. Without the, you have to do it this way, you have to wear this piece of clothing, you have to eat this thing, you can't do that, right? So the only thou shalt not, actually the truth is we have two of them. First of all, the only thou shalt nots we have is thou shalt do no harm. Why? Because we're all one, right? We harm ourselves, we harm somebody else, we're harming ourselves. It will come back, right? Do no harm, and do not do treatment for someone unless they have asked you for it and you're doing treatment for what they want, not what you think they should want. Especially our loved ones that we know better, don't we? We all know better what they should be doing, what they should be thinking. So those are the only thou shalt nots we have, because what we're trying to do is we're all trying to move into our deepest, largest, highest possible universal view of life and to speak and act from that place, which actually for each one of us will look a little different. We focus on Ernest Holmes because there is something really powerful about the language and the way in which he extrapolated, synthesized, and worked with all of this. And because he never lets us off the hook. Sometimes we like that part. Lots of times we don't like that part. We want it to be a little more psychological. We want to be a little bit, well, but I have these feelings and this is what happened. And then I have my trauma and my past and all of that. And we want to be able to have all of that. Well, you do have all of that because we're all talking about it. We all have it. The thing that I love the most, and one of the reasons why I quote Ernest Holmes the most, is because he never lets us off the hook. It is always about consciousness. This does not mean you don't go to doctors. This does not mean you don't go to therapy. This does not mean you don't go into recovery. This does not mean you don't take care of your body and you don't do all of those things. What we're doing is adding the spiritual causal component. So all of that not only will work better, it will be completely healed. And you won't have to keep going over it and over it and doing it again and again and again and again. Right? There's lots of people who are doing similar work. Lots of places you can go to do similar work. There's this, right? But the other thing, it's not so much Ernest Holmes, really. It's nothing to do with Ernest Holmes, and it doesn't really have to do with the text itself, the Science of Mind text. For me, the most important thing is the Science of Mind has a progressively understandable set of principles that provide a scaffolding that allows me to cope, to hope, to grow, and to create a transformed life. And so that set of principles become this unshakable scaffolding upon which we can rest our lives. If there's anything, and let me just say, and everybody talks about that scaffolding differently, right? We all use different words, although we do codify them for our education program because we have to have some shared language. But even the language itself is not the magic. Do you see? The Buddha said, the moon. Look at the moon, not the finger pointing at the moon. Ultimately, everything that we teach or do is to get you to look at the moon. The finger, we have learned, actually works for a lot of people. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, it's okay too. It is really, it's not about having the right way. It's having a way that is more interested in the internal reality than the external trappings of our spirituality. And I love it because it's food for my brain. Makes me really think, what is he talking about? What does that mean? That is clearly not true for me. But wait, he asserts it is. Okay, what if it were? Do you see? It's the wrestling with it itself that causes our paradigm to shift. This is not self-help. This is not self-help. This is shifting the paradigm of knowing who you are and how all of this, what is actually happening. And when that paradigm shifts, yes, oh man, life is transformed and we become agents of transformation in the world. May you be blessed in being that every day of your life. Thank you. And thank you to those of you online, and thank you to Ryan for reading those out and making sure our online people are included, always included. Thanks.
Thank you and amen. And wake up, you sleepyheads. Open up your pocketbook. Here we go again. It is time now for our offering, which is just another way of our expressing givingness. So let's do our abundance affirmation together. I turn my mind to the infinite, knowing perfect supply is mine. I open my hands to receive abundance right here and right now. We move forward joyously, knowing that CSLDallas, our community, and the world are thriving, prospering, and divinely guided to our highest good. And so it is. And so it is. And as you know, there are lots of ways to give this way monetarily and in all the ways of service and loving and the way that we do. But you can send checks, so you can put them in the basket, or you can do cash. We know. Just go for it. This holiday season, CSLDallas wants to wrap as many people as we can in the love that we celebrate through the holidays. You are invited to participate in our Bear or Blanket in Every Chair initiative this season. Bring a new stuffed animal or a new throw blanket and put it in a sanctuary chair. We will love up each item in the chairs when we're on campus, and if you're a part of the online community, you can send us stuffed animals or blankets to place on a chair for you and widen our circle of love and light through this holiday season. On December 17th, we will be giving our bears and blankets to the Cardboard Project. And Armando, are you here? Come on, baby, stand up. Yeah. He's going to help disperse them to the people who need them most. So now I'd like to call up Glenna Hecht. She's going to talk about her book signing. And so it is. And looky here, we got another one coming up.
So do any of you have a father, a mother, a partner, a friend, a loved one who has dementia? Then you know the feeling. You're about to see them, and you pause for just a second and think to yourself, who am I going to see when I see them? Will they remember me? Will they say the same thing over and over and over again? Will they be scared? Will they be angry? What will I find? I lived it. For 9 years, I was a caregiver for my mother. 7 of those, she was on hospice. I didn't know what I was doing. No rule book, no roadmap. A 24/7, you're on call all the time. And clearly, that was my reality. For the first 2 years, I tried to fix her, right? Went to research, support groups. I even became an assisted living manager, thinking that would tell me how to relate to my mom. But nothing gave me an answer. Nothing told me what to do when she was scared. Nothing told me what to do when I was scared. And then one day something shifted. I turned to her and said, I forgot, how old are you? And she looked at me and said, guess. And that became the beginning of a game. That game became a daily ritual. That became our way back to each other. Not to what she was, but to what she was right now. And that game became a book. Yeah. So the game gave me the greatest gift. We had connection, joy, love, even laughter in the middle of what most would consider a mess, right? And so here's my affirmation, here's my dream, here's my goal. And that is that hundreds of thousands of these books get into the hands of caregivers so that they can feel the peace, the joy, the dementia love story that I experienced. 30% of the gross profits are going to dementia Alzheimer's research, and my goal is to donate $2 million to that. Yeah. So here's how you can help. For those online, I'm on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, or you can go to the website, howoldareyoutaday.com, and you'll see my smiling face with my mom. If you're in the room, I'll be outside. I have stacks of books and would love to sign one for you and answer any questions you have. And here's my hope, that you try the game, that you experience love, joy, meaning, and connection, even when memory fades. Thank you.
And it's lovely, and thank you for that. And so let's stand as we're able and join in with the music team for being blessed always.